I know people get upset, some do, when we do the George Zimmerman story, saying, hey, it's enough, right? And the reason I want to do this story, it's about his wife, Shellie Zimmerman, because it gives you context to some of the things that we have been saying, okay? Now, understand, George Zimmerman had his trial, and he was found not guilty. That's it. It's over. No one else should do anything about that. I don't like the fact that he took pictures at the factory that's making the guns that killed Trayvon Martin, etc. Apparently his wife doesn't like that. His lawyers didn't like that, so I'm not alone in that. But that's a personal opinion, right? But I wanted to give you context here from his wife so that we can understand why we bring him up here. Okay, first, let's listen to her on the state of the relationship.
Are you together?
I'm not going to answer that. Of course I want to have children and stay married.
With George?
That's something I'm going to have to think about.
So she says she also had a fight with him the night before the shooting and that she was staying at her dad's house because they were in an argument. Look, I give you the lawyer quotes in the past and I'm giving you the wife quotes here to give you a sense of these are the people that know Zimmerman best. It doesn't, look, they could be just having a normal marital issues, especially they've been under a lot of stress. And remember, he got her to lie for him in case of hiding some money, and now she's being tried for that, right? So I understand that. But everybody who apparently knows him well, not everybody to be fair, his brother's been 100% supportive of him, etc. But a lot of people who know him well are also concerned about his attitude. All right, let me give you more here.
On Wednesday, in the same courthouse where her husband was acquitted, Shellie pleaded guilty to perjury. Yet he was not in court for her, something Shellie says she can't explain.
Did you want him to be in court to support you?
I always want my husband's support.
So she supports him all the way. He doesn't even bother showing up at her trial. The only reason she's going to trial is because of him and the lie that he wanted her to tell, and she did tell. And she takes personal responsibility for that and says, hey, listen, it doesn't matter. I can rationalize it for a lot of reasons, she said, but I was misleading, and the truth is that I knew that I was lying. See, that's taking personal responsibility, if you want to use those words, okay? Now more.
A visit to a Florida gun manufacturing plant, the company that made the gun he used to kill Martin.
Do you think it was the right thing to do or sensitive?
No.
So again, here's his wife saying, why did you do that? His lawyer is saying, we did not tell him to do that. We totally disagree with that. It's basically the people close to him saying, look, this guy is in another world and he seems to be reveling in it. But the whole reason I do all of this is for the last quote. She addressed what she thought about Trayvon Martin's family. Let's watch.
I'm so deeply sorry for their loss. I can't even begin to understand the grief that a parent experiences when they lose a child.
Now you see, that wasn't so hard, was it? Why can't George Zimmerman say that? Look, there's nothing that's going to be done legally or otherwise, and I hope to God nothing ever comes of George Zimmerman again, right? Like that no one bothers him and he lives his miserable little life, in however way he's going to live it, okay? But for the people who are his supporters, that's what bothers me in my core. The ones who think he's a hero. Look at all these people like his wife and his lawyers, etc., saying, why is he doing all this stuff? But much more importantly, here's his wife coming out and saying, God, I feel so sorry for their loss. That's the decent thing to do, the human thing to do. I mean, if he just, after he was acquitted, and I even said, look, during the trial, I can understand why you don't want to say that. Maybe somebody interprets that as an admission of guilt. But after the trial, can't you just be decent enough to say, God, I feel so sorry for their loss, instead of going and smiling at the gun manufacturer's plant that made the gun that killed him? Can't you have a shred of humanity? All right, look, that's my personal take on it, but the ones who are saying Zimmerman is not relevant anymore, I agree with you. What I'm addressing is the avid Zimmerman supporters who think that he's some sort of hero and think he did the right thing. Just take a look at yourself. Understand that that 17-year-old kid is dead and he didn't do anything wrong, okay? When he went out that night, I know you think that he was a savage that attacked Zimmerman after Zimmerman had followed him. But come on, man, just look in the mirror for 1 second. I love that Shellie Zimmerman at least did one simple, decent thing there at the end. Bless her heart for it.